Governing is about prioritizing, and for some reason, Republicans in Congress have made the calculation that they'd rather spend time chasing phantom investigations against the Biden family, that they'd rather double down on an agenda that was clearly rejected by the majority of Americans in the last midterm election. And so instead of talking about the kitchen table issues, the inflation, the economy, the things that they actually ran on in the midterm elections, they're doing something completely different. And I just don't think that's going to end up being a political winner. I think that most people in this country, they're not looking to Washington for investigations. They're looking for Washington for common sense solutions to the problems that they face every day. I don't think most people in this country really care about Hunter Biden. I don't think they care about these witch hunts that Republicans are going to be chasing and these, grievances that they're going to air through this new committee that they formed. I think that they want Republicans and Democrats both to do what they said they would do in the midterm elections, and that's do common sense governing.
I mean, Ashley, he's right, number one, but also, I mean, this is messaging. These have no chance of passing in the Democrat-controlled Senate. That's not something unique to this Congress or this party, but what they are doing, whether it's Hunter Biden or threatening impeachment over what are essentially policy differences, is that a different level than we've seen in the past, largely?
Right. That's exactly right. These messaging bills are things that both parties do that signal to their base their priorities and what they care about. The challenge, of course, on the messaging side, briefly for Republicans, is while some of these issues may animate the base, what we've seen is that the base has often produced extremist far-right candidates who can win a primary and then can't win a general election. And that's why Republicans have been so frustrated in 2018, 2020, and 2022. Now, in terms of what they're actually doing, you're also right. That is a sort of second level, especially this committee to investigate the weaponization of government. And one thing that is particularly ironic about this is President Biden's predecessor, former President Trump, very clearly tried to weaponize the government. I guess you could argue on the one hand it didn't need to be investigated because he just made it clear. He would come out and say publicly or tweet that he wanted his attorney general to act as his own personal lawyer and fixer, that he wanted his enemies to be investigated. But it is an interesting question. I would be curious to know, since it sounds like there will be Democrats on this committee, if they will try to expand this to stuff that preceded President Biden.
Yeah, I'm curious, Kurt, how you see this playing out. Let me read to you the way Politico put it, saying the committee will cause, quote, mutually assured obstruction as the House GOP aims this weaponization panel at the DOJ. Where's this all going?
Well, I think that you're going to see Republicans push to try to investigate things that, frankly, the Justice Department is not going to talk about. They're not going to undermine existing cases that they're currently investigating to comply with this. Really, it's a PR stunt more than anything. This is just publicity stunt through a congressional committee. I think Democrats are smart in learning from the lessons of Kevin McCarthy not seating members on January 6th. You cannot give the opposition just an open field to do whatever they want. You have to have opposition and resistance, and in our case, contextual setting to actually tell the facts about what's going on, point out the inaccuracies, point out the hypocrisies. So I think that it'll be one of the most important decisions that Hakeem Jeffries makes in his first, couple of months as leaders. Who is he going to appoint to serve as the ranking member to go up against Jim Jordan? I'm looking at members like a David Cicilline, like a Ted Lieu, like a Madeline Dean, members who are very publicly conscientious, who are good on social media, who are good at messaging, understand the politics, and have played very outsized large roles in some of the previous investigations into the Trump administration.